What are you guys doing up here? This is my office, this is my private space. I mean, you can't just come up here and... What do you even want? You want me to make a video now? Well, I'm replying to all your comments on my other videos. I mean, you want it now? Oh, well, I mean, there's no fish tanks up here, like what? Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keep Fish Simple. So if you're wondering why we're up in my office today, that's because downstairs has absolutely awful lighting at this time of day, and this is the only time of the day I can record today. So we're upstairs in my office where the lighting is perfect, and I'm going to do a bit of B-roll and show you the aquariums, but I don't have anything related to aquariums up here. This is my dojo. This is where I get all the magic done behind the channel. This is where I reply to your comments and ship out the orders and do everything. So we're up here today. We're not normally up here, don't get used to this. This is just temporary, but I thought I might as well get out a video to you guys because I know how much you guys like me uploading regularly. So I've got a video today, and the video today is the top 10 fish for beginners. So this is going to be a really detailed list, and I'm going to try and make this video as jam-packed as possible and fill you guys up with a bunch of information, a bunch of new ideas for your fish tank. So make sure you stay around to the end of the video to listen to everything. So if you're new to the hobby and you haven't kept fish before, and you probably are if you're on this video, welcome to my channel. I make lots of aquarium related information videos as well as some little entertaining ones, so please consider subscribing down below. And yeah, welcome to the hobby. So today I'm going to give you a bunch of different fish that are really good for your aquarium. So I'm going to start with number 10 being the least suited to a beginner and number 1 being the most suited to a beginner. So the fish at number 10 is the bristlenose pleco. Now I keep bristlenose plecos in one of my aquariums downstairs, and they are an awesome fish for beginners. This fish should be higher up on the list, but I didn't put it there because it's not as appealing to an aquarium for a beginner. I know that when I got my first aquarium, I wasn't going to focus on bristlenose at all, but as I moved into the hobby, I actually really started to like them. So the bristlenose catfish is a small kind of algae eater fish that has bristles on its nose, obviously, and they go around the aquarium and they just clean up all that surface algae in the tank. So if you are making an aquarium and you want a really cool centerpiece, I definitely recommend the bristlenose because they're super easy to take care of. They go in a wide range of different water parameters and they stay very, very small. And the reason that they make such a good centerpiece is because you can house them 1 or 2 or 3 of them in a small aquarium with some community fish, and they look really, really funky. So if you have people over looking at your aquariums and they see the bristlenose, I'm sure that they'll mention them and say, oh my god, you got like one of these sucker fish. And that's part of the reason I love these guys, because every time I have someone over to my house and they look at the fish tanks, they always seem to mention the bristlenose. So bristlenose are also really good because they're pretty easy to breed. I breed bristlenose in my aquarium with a bunch of other fish in there, and it's not too hard. So all you need to breed the bristlenose pleco is a small cave. You can buy these on my store. They're pretty easy to find also in local fish stores. And basically what will happen is the male will lure the female into the cave, and then the female will lay the eggs and the male will take care of the eggs until they are fry. And the fry are pretty big, so it's unlikely that if you have other fish in there that they will be able to eat them, especially because they hide so much. One note for before you buy any bristlenose, you have to have wood in the aquarium because it's an essential part of their diet. So any driftwood that you get, make sure you blanch it in hot water before you put it into the tank, but they definitely need that to have a successful life in an aquarium. So for the next fish, I might get a bit of slack. You guys will probably not like this, but at number 9 I put the goldfish. So the reason that we put the goldfish at number 9, it's like the most iconic fish in the whole entire hobby. So you know that like most people get into the hobby because they win a goldfish at a fair, or it's the first fish you see normally when you walk into a fish store. And the reason I put it here is because if you keep them in the right conditions and you take care of them the proper way, you'll have heaps of success with the goldfish. So what I mean by this is that you don't overfeed the aquarium, and you at least clean it 2 times a week to make sure that they don't suffer in their own ammonia. And it's just, you've got to keep the tank really clean because these guys poop like crazy. Like they are super quick eaters, and they just have a really quick metabolism, and they're just pooping all the time. So it's really important that you don't have a small aquarium. You need quite a big aquarium. to house these guys, but they are really good beginner fish and they have heaps of color and personality, and I know a lot of people appreciate goldfish. So the next fish we have on the list is the rasboras. Now rasboras, there are a bunch of different types you can get. My favorite is the harlequin rasbora, and harlequin rasboras and rasboras in general are a schooling fish, and they're very, very peaceful, and they just go around the aquarium and create beautiful schooling displays. Now these guys are at number 8. I've put them there because they don't have much personality. They're just a little bit more tricky to take care of, and I probably wouldn't sell these guys as a beginner to people, but nonetheless, they are a very good beginner fish. They're super easy to take care of. You just have to make sure that you have a small grain of food so that they can fit it in their mouth, and these guys go along the top of the tank and through the middle of it, and they go in school. So you need to buy about 7 or more, and they'll go around in the school and they create an awesome display, and they go really well in community fish tanks because they're super peaceful. So the next fish on the list is our spicy little friend, the barb. Now you guys, if you are into aggressive fish and you're into like little piranha like fish or sharky fish, barbs are going to be your best friend, because barbs pretty much the most aggressive kind of fish in the aquarium, apart from some of the cichlids. And these guys are really good beginner fish if you want something that's going to attack the food when you put it in. So they are known to be quite nippy and bite the fins off of other fish in the aquarium. They go really, really well in school, so you need to have about 6 or more barbs to have a successful aquarium. There's heaps of different kinds. There's cherry barbs, there's rosy barbs, there's whole different types of barbs. They are very, very aggressive eaters. So these guys, you can't breed them. They're pretty hard to breed if you're a beginner, but if you want something just to set and take care of and just be entertained by feeding, and if you have kids and you want them to see all the aggressive eating, barbs are going to be awesome. Now they take a wide range of different foods, flakes, tiny pellets, bloodworms, and they look absolutely awesome if you feed them the right balance of food. So if you can get a nice balanced diet, they'll display heaps of color and they'll be super aggressive in eating. So at number 6 is my personal favorite, the angelfish. Now I kept angelfish about 3 years ago, and I was breeding them, and I had heaps of success with angelfish, and I absolutely love the angelfish. Now the reason they're at number 6 is because they do get quite big, so you need quite a big aquarium, but there's a bunch of different reasons that these guys are perfect for you if you're a beginner. So they are obviously a very beautiful fish, and you most likely know them if you are looking into buying an aquarium, because almost everyone has some sort of angelfish, and every fish store you go to will have angelfish. Now they come in a bunch of different colors, and they do get quite big and they have big mouths, so you have to make sure that the fish you have in there can't fit inside their mouths. Angelfish are a very, very peaceful fish, and they go really good in a community aquarium. Angelfish are really aggressive eaters too, so they'll be really excited to see your hands going even near the tank. I absolutely love the angelfish. They're pretty easy to breed. These guys are absolutely awesome for beginners. I'd highly recommend getting angelfish. Just make sure that you're cleaning the water properly and you're feeding these guys properly, and you will have heaps of success. So you guys are gonna love me for this one. And at number 5 is the corydoras. So corydoras, absolutely awesome fish for beginners. Look really, really cool. They are a schooling fish, they are a catfish, and they go along the bottom of the tank and sift through the sand because they are bottom feeding fish. So when you feed the aquarium and the food falls to the bottom, these guys will be along the bottom and eat all those little flakes and worms that fall to the bottom. So they have these little things called barbels on their mouth, and they go along the bottom of the aquarium and sift through the sand and eat. And it's really important that if you guys house these in your aquarium, that your gravel is really, really fine, or that you have sand substrate so that they don't hurt these barbels. Corydoras go really, really well in schools, so you should keep about 6 or more. And obviously if you're keeping that amount, you probably need a bigger aquarium of about 20 gallons at least, and you need a large surface area for them to swim along. Corydoras go great in a community aquarium. They are a bottom dwelling fish, so you can have them at the bottom of the tank with a bunch of tetras and stuff at the top, and they go really, really well together. I've kept corydoras. You can breed them. They're pretty tricky to breed in a community aquarium, but if you want to give them a go at breeding, I definitely recommend that. If you're trying to breed for profit, you'll always be able to sell these guys. Like I said, just make sure that you have a good gravel and that you're feeding these guys and taking care of the substrate, and make sure you're cleaning it and looking after these guys properly, and you'll have heaps of success. So at number 4, we have the coolie loach. You guys are gonna absolutely love this fish if you keep it. If you're new to the hobby, I'd definitely recommend trying one of these out. If you're not trying to breed anything, coolie loaches are a nocturnal fish, and they're very small. You can keep 4 or 5 of them in a very small aquarium. Just make sure you have heaps of decorations. But these guys are a nocturnal fish. They're super cool to look at. They have these awesome stripes on them. and they go really, really well in a community aquarium because they're so peaceful. Now, the chances are that if you guys have these in your aquarium, you're not going to see them much, and that's because they are nocturnal, so they hide for most of the day, and they'll come out and they'll do their feeding during the night. But I've seen most aquariums that this doesn't happen. Normally they will come out during feeding, but then they'll go and hide during the day because they're sleeping and they're resting, and that's just what they do. But these guys are awesome for beginners because they're so easy to take care of. Pretty much every pet store stocks them, and they just look absolutely amazing. Again, these guys, awesome centerpiece for your aquarium. If you have lots of tetras and stuff swimming around, and then you have these guys at the bottom, they're gonna make an awesome display if people can see them. Definitely recommend these guys, and these guys get number 4. So at number 3, we have platies. Platies are awesome beginner fish because they aren't as inbred as the guppies, and they are very, very hardy and easy to care for fish. So these guys are a live bearer. I know you guys want live bearers because live bearers are, in my opinion, the best kind of fish for beginners. So a live bearer is a fish that gives birth to live young instead of laying eggs. These guys are very common in the aquarium hobby, so platies are an awesome fish because they stay very small, they have a very good shape, and they're super easy to take care of, and they will breed in your aquarium. So they breed about every 30 days, and they'll give birth to about 5 to 25 young on average, but they can give birth to up to about 50. I haven't seen that happen with my platies in the past, but they come in pretty much every single color you can imagine. You got blues, reds, orange, yellow, Dalmatian kinds, and these guys take pretty much every kind of food and every kind of water parameter. They're from Mexico, and they live in a whole bunch of different parameters in the aquarium hobby, and the chances are, if you've got any kind of pet store near you, Petco, you've got a local fish store, that you will be able to find these and put these in your aquarium. So at number 2, we have tetras. Obviously, tetras are an awesome fish for beginners. They are super easy to take care of, create an amazing display, have awesome colors, and they do school. So you won't be able to breed these guys. They're very tricky to breed. But if you're looking for something to make an awesome display in your aquarium, I highly recommend getting some tetras. You can get neon tetras, cardinal tetras, all different kinds, black skirts, and they live for quite a while. They live for about 2 years on average, and they swim around the aquarium, and they're very, very hardy fish. If you can see this photo behind me, something like this. If you have lots of green in the aquarium and you have a bunch of like neon tetras, they make an awesome display because they have this vibrant neon stripe. It just looks absolutely stunning. So if you get a large aquarium and quite a long aquarium and get them to school along it, they'll make an awesome display. And these are just a couple of the ideas that you can do with these guys. You have to keep in mind that their mouths are very, very tiny, so you have to get a very, very small food so that it can fit into their mouths. But other than that, these guys take a wide range of different parameters of water. I've never had trouble keeping these guys in the past. They're super easy to take care of, and pretty much every pet store sells them. So you've been waiting for it, and at number 1, I put the Endler guppy. The reason I put the Endler guppy instead of the common guppy is for a few reasons. The Endler guppy is a lot hardier, and it stays very, very small. So the common guppy is, because of a lot of inbreeding and selective breeding over time, it's become very frail and prone to diseases in the aquariums. They are very good fish for beginners, but I haven't put them on this list just for that reason. The reason I put these guys on top of the guppies is because they're very hardy and they're very small. So the males have amazing natural colors like the tiger kinds or the black bars. I've got blue star endlers, and they've got awesome displays. And the reason that they are so good is because they're a live bearer. They breed every 22 days, but they are so small that they can't fit the fry into their mouths. So it's unlikely that these guys will ever eat their fry, especially if you're feeding them well, because they just simply can't fit in their mouths. But these are an awesome fish for beginners. If you start with about 3 or 4 of them, you have 2 females to every male. You'll start an awesome colony, and then within about 6 months, you'll have hundreds of these guys. So if you're looking for a fish to breed for profit, highly recommend these guys. They're a perfect fish to breed for profit because they are high value fish and they breed super easily. So if you guys want to take care of these guys, it's pretty much as simple as chucking them into an aquarium and just leaving them, just feeding them and cleaning the water about 25% every week, and they'll do absolutely fine. On another note, that ends the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Sorry we're up in the office. Let me know what you think of videos like this. I really appreciate all your feedback. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.